In this guide, I will walk you through everything you need to know about Opus Clip, from setting up your account to exploring its core features like long to shorts video, AI captions, video editor, enhanced speech, and many more. All the way to the pricing plans so you know exactly which subscription fits your needs. By the end, you'll have a clear understanding of how Opus Clip works, what each tool can do for your content, and which plan gives you the best value for your workflow. Alright, so now to begin, you want to go into the description of this video and use the link to go here into the website of Opus Clip, and make sure to scan the description for some coupon codes to get the best current deals here in Opus Clip. And then once you're here, you want to start by setting up your account. So you can do that by clicking here on sign in if you already have an account, or sign up if you don't have one already. So in here, we can continue with our Google account, Apple account, or our email, depending on which one you prefer. And now, once you're logged in, you will now be prompted in here into the homepage, wherein you would automatically get the free trial, which would give you 90 credits in here. And I'm currently in the Pro Plan free trial. And now from here, I can basically use almost all of the features in here, but of course with limitations because only 90 credits. So first thing that we're going to do is that we have the long to shorts in here. So basically the same thing with this one right here. So you could get clips by just dropping in the link right here, Twitch, YouTube, or other platforms link like Rumble. You could also upload it here manually. So the maximum size is 30 gigabytes and maximum duration is 10 hours, or you could choose a video from your Google Drive account, depending on which one you prefer. So in my case, I'll just go over into YouTube and just get one of these podcasts as an example. So the one that I want is right here. So now I'm just going to click here on the three dots and basically click on share and then click on copy, so that I have now copied the link and go back into Opus Clip and then basically just drop the link in here. And now it's gonna detect that link and a video right here. And now from here is that you will now be able to proceed into the settings. So in here, you can go for AI clipping, you can go for clip mode. So basically here we have auto, clip anything, which is the smartest model, and then the clip basic. So basically in here, you want to choose the clip anything if you have a complex or diverse content, or you want AI to find highlights beyond just speech. And you have clip basic in here if you have just a simple podcast, interview clips, or the speaker is in the clear focus. So the advantage of going to clip basic is that you would get less credit spending and faster processing, because it will just do the basics. Here in clip anything, you might have higher costs, especially if the video is so long and complex. So yeah, that would be the disadvantage. So I'm just gonna go for clip basic for this one, since this is just a simple talking head video, which is a podcast. So I think clip basic would be enough. And then we have the genre. In here, you can choose the genre that you'd want. In my case, I'll just go for auto, and a clip length. So you could choose multiple right here. You could go for auto, 30 to 1 minute. We have 1 minute to 3 minutes, I think. I think this is 1 minute and 30 seconds, I think, yeah. And then we have 90 seconds, 3 minutes, and so on. So depending on which one you'd want. So in my case, I'll just select 3 of this. So this would be the range that the AI would be able to play on. And then once you're done, is that you can now go here into auto hook. So this would enable the auto added text line as your video's hook at the beginning of your video. So you could enable that if you want that feature. And in here, you could now include specific moments. So if you already have an idea in here on what you would want to get as short here in your long form video, you could just type it in here. So if you have something specific in mind that you really would want to see as the result, then just type it here. In my case, I'll just skip that. And then we have the processing time frame. So in here, you could go for the timeline of the video wherein the AI could work on. So if you don't want to include a part on, let's say, the first part of the video, then you could just simply drag it in here and make sure that it is not included here in the white line or in the range between these 2 dots. So that's how you do it. In my case, I just want it to be the whole video. And next, we have the quick preset. So this is for the subtitles, depending on which one you want. So I think I'm just going to go for this one. This one is the most common, but I think it's very effective because the style is catchy. But you could go for others if you'd want to. You can click here on the arrow buttons, wherein you would be able to see more templates right here. And yeah, I'm just gonna stick with something simple in here, which is this one. And then you also have the My Templates in here. If you have created your own templates, this is where you'd be able to see that. But yeah, I haven't. These are only examples, so I'm not gonna use them. I'm gonna go for this one, which is the karaoke. And then to choose the aspect ratio in here, also very important. So you can go for the portrait, a square, landscape, and this one is, I don't know, this is a rectangle. It's a 4:5. So depending on the aspect ratio of your choosing, or it depends on where you will be uploading this video on which platform. In the case, I'll just go for 9:16. And once you're done, you also have the save settings above as default. So you could also make this as a default if this is your go-to settings, or make it a template and so on. And then once you're all done with the settings in here, you'd now be able to see here in the credit usage. Make sure that you understand this, because credit management is essential in Opus Clip, as this is a credit-based platform. If you run out of credits, then you wouldn't be able to use the features anymore, no matter your subscription. And then the speech language here, by the way, is English, or you can just leave it as auto, all for good. And now we can click here on get clips in one click, and it's now gonna process the video. As you can see right here, project submitted successfully. So now let's just wait for it to finish and let's see the result. All right, it is now done, and you should see that right here when you go back into the home page, which is right here under all projects. You can click on that, and then you would now be able to see the results. And as you can see here, there are a lot. So this would actually also depend on the length of your video, on how many there are to be clipped that was detected by AI. And now in here, in these results, you will now be able to see the different titles that you have right here. And this is actually already ranked from 1 to 15, which we have a total of 15 clips right here available. And we have different scorings right here. So this is ranked by scorings by AI. So this is the likelihood that this video will go viral based on the AI analysis. And notice that the hooks right here are only available on your top 10 videos as mentioned in here. So the remaining 5 does not have the hook, but you can still manually put a hook if you would want to, and you can edit them and everything. And now you want to choose a video that you are currently interested in. Let's say I'm going to go here for the first one, which is the top 1 video according to AI analysis. So we have some buttons in here. We can post this desired platforms in one click. So we can click on that, and then we would need to, of course, connect our platform first, and you would need to upgrade to remove the watermark and so on. Since we only are on the free trial, we can't do that. You could also download your video in HD quality. Of course, watermark is still there because it's still on free trial. And then you have the edit clip. And you could also click here on this video, and then you'd now be able to expand on it. And then there will be more details. You'll be able to see more details in scoring. You could add it as a favorite. You could like this clip or dislike this clip to let the AI know on what kind of clips you like. And then you have the transcription in here. And then you could publish, you could export, download, some more options in here. AI hook, you could add a sound hook to your content and so on. The first thing that we're going to be doing here is edit clip, because this is very important here for you to master in Opus Clip, because you'll be coming across or using this feature a lot if you are especially converting long forms to short forms. So in here, we will now be clicking here on skip, and then we're now here in the editor of Opus Clip. First thing that I recommend you to do is to go here to the transcription and make sure that this spelling here or grammar, whatever it is perfect here already. Nothing is wrong, so that we will not be changing a lot later on. So now, once you have successfully checked that, or if you have spotted some mistakes, you could just simply click on that word. Like for example, here, I could click on that and it would now automatically jump into that time in the timeline. And as you can see, we have here, which is decaf right here. So I could also double click on it and then I could now erase that or edit it. Let's say I'm going to go and make it capital, just like that. And then I'm going to go press enter. And as you can see, it has now been saved. It's now in all caps. So that's how you can edit your text in here if there's something wrong. Also, is that you could just highlight the words right here. But in my style that I have picked for the text or for the captions, it doesn't really matter because every word will be highlighted. But if you have a style wherein not every word is highlighted, you could manually highlight it right here. So you can click on that word and then you can click here and highlight, and then you could choose the highlight color in here. So that's how you'd be able to do that. And then you could also click on that and then you could edit the timing. Click here and edit, and then you could apply it to every text that you have in here. Like for example, you have applied a highlight in here. You could just click here and apply to everywhere, and it will now be applied to every word. So it would have the same highlight. So that's basically how it works. And then you have the add button. So you can add AI B-roll, stock B-roll, emoji, or AI hook into this word or into the timeline. That's how you'd be able to do that. You could also delete that. And you have the three dots in here. You can also split and trim, copy, paste, cut, and so on. So I don't really have to change much here because I think everything is correct. So I'm just showing you on how you'd be able to change your text in here, how you'd be able to customize it, and so on. Next thing is that we have this one. So you could actually change the aspect ratio here in real time. Like for example, I would want to convert this into a landscape. So I can click here, and as you can see, it now gets into landscape mode. So now the frame looks even bigger or wider. You can convert it into another one like square. As you can see, still looks good. And portrait, we have it right here, depending on which one you'd want. I'll just stick to vertical for this example. And here in the layout, you can select fill. You can make it fit, as you can see, and split. Right here, if you have multiple speakers, then you'd be able to do their frames at the same time. So that would be on the top and the bottom. But in this clip, there is only one speaker. So it's like that. Doesn't really make sense. And you still have some other layouts that you can work with in here. We have 3, which is great for 3 speakers, 4 for 4 speakers, and we have screen share and gameplay depending on the purpose of your video. So yeah, that's it. And as for this one, I'm just gonna stick into fill. I think that's great. And then we have the tracker. So you can enable subject tracking for precise reframing. So this is a more advanced feature if you would want to attach something in the object that you have tracked in here in your video. And next is that we could also crop our video in here. So make sure that you select the video or clip here in the timeline. And from here, we can now click here on crop. So if you don't like the framing of your video, you can adjust it right here. So now I can just make it like that. And then you could also select the aspect ratio right here if you'd want to change that, and click on apply. And as you can see, it has now been reframed according to the crop that we have specified. And we also have this. You could add some logo or image in here in this particular frame, or you could add it into your video by clicking here on this button. And yeah, if that's it. And then next we have the AI enhance. So in here, you can remove filler words, remove pauses, auto censor, and many more right here. So you can test it out, see which one you need or which one works best for you. You could test it out right here, but essentially these are all AI powered features. So you don't really need any skills for this to make it happen. And then next we have the captions. So you could also change the style here in the captions if you'd want to. And I'm gonna go for this one, for example. And now, as you can see, it is now changed. And when I play the video, it is basically applied to the other parts of the video with the text. So it is considered as the style for all text right here. And you could also go for more. You could go here into the font. In here, you would be able to play around the details of your font, like the font style right here. We have the font size, font color, semi-bold, or the style in here. You have decorations, a font stroke, and many more. And we could also change the keyword highlighter right here. Remember when I taught you on how you'd be able to highlight it here in the transcript? So basically you'll be changing the color in here under font. And then we have effects. So you could go for position. You could make it on top, as you can see. You could make it in the middle, bottom, or anywhere. And then you have the animation in here as the text would go into another text. You could change the transition. You could make it blur in. And as you can see, we would now have another animation. So let's see that effect right there. So that's the blurring effect. And then I'm just going to go for the pop actually. This is my go-to because it's so simple and it's not really that straining to the eyes. And then the lines in here, you could go for 3 lines, but I really like the 1 line. I don't want it to be too many lines in here. So I'm just going to stick with 1 line for this one. And next we have the upload. So this is where you can upload your file, and this is where you can see the history of everything you have uploaded or used here in Opus Clip. We also have the brand template. So basically this is where you'd be able to save your templates or brand templates essentially, because this is useful if you don't want to start manually from scratch every time that you would want to just basically use the same brand templates like the color, the font, and everything right here. So this is where you could save that. For example, the changes that you have made to this video, you could click here on save, and then you would now be able to save it as a template. So now every time that you edit a video in here, you can just go here into brand template and just choose it right here to automatically apply the settings that you have made in this current video. So now I'm going to go click here on confirm. And there it is. And now we have it right here. So that's it. Next, we have the B-roll. So this is where you can upload your B-roll. You could auto-generate AI B-roll right here. You could go for the stock library if needed. So if you are in need of a B-roll for a filler or for whatever it is. So you can just click here on any B-roll that you'd want. Let's say I'm just going to go for stock, and I'm going to go for this one. Click on that, and it will now be added into the video. So now it's currently importing it, and we have this one right here, as you can see in the timeline. And now you could position this B-roll, you could crop it however you'd want, and so on. So basically the same thing with a video right here. So I'm just going to delete that because I don't really need it. And next we have the transition. So you could apply transitions to the clip here on this video. Like for example, I would want to make a transition in here. So first I would need to split it. So I'm going to click here on split while positioning my play in there. There, it's now in split, as you can see. And now I can go here into transition. Now I can apply some cross zoom in here. I can place it right there. And now when I play this, this is how the transition would look like. As you can see, there it is. We now have that cross zoom. So yeah, that's how you'd be able to use the transition in here. But if you don't want to do the transitions yourself, you could always click here on auto transition, and then AI would be the one to add some transitions in the parts of your video where it thinks is necessary. So that's the easier way to do this. And I'm just going to go and actually enable it. Next is we have the text, so you can add a heading or body text, whatever you'd want right here. So it will look like something like this. And this is where you can format it. You can change the font style, font size, the styling in here, and the background color. You could make it into whatever background color you'd want in here. So that's it. The text here is very basic. And then the music, this is also where you'd be able to put it right here. You can choose from one of the preset music right here. You can also upload your own by clicking here on the upload button if needed. And then we have the AI hook. So in here, we could type our script in here. So just type it in here so that the AI would be able to generate hooks, captions, or overlays, even if the video itself doesn't provide clear spoken text. Basically, it's our way of steering the AI toward the message you want the viewers to see first. And then you can choose the voice, tone stability, and so on. So you could use this if you want, but in this example of mine, it's not really needed, so I'm going to skip this out. And yeah, those are basically the simple functions here, or the basics in a video editor. It is very important that you know them because you will be using video editor a lot here in Opus Clip. So make sure that you remember and watch them all. And once you're done with everything, you can click here on Save Changes if you just want to save this as a draft, and then you can come back to it later on. Or you could already export that if you would want to use it right away or download it. And now as you can see, it's now processing the changes in here, so you just need to wait for it to be saved. And yeah, you could also go and edit the others right here. You could upload them and so on. You can click on them and you can do everything that you'd want. So yeah, this is basically from for the long to short form content right here in Opus Clip. Now you know on how you could use that. So now let's go into home again, and this time we'll be going into AI captions. So in here, we can now add stylish captions or translate your content with one click. So basically, we'll be dropping a link here once again. So now this time, I'm going to go and choose this video in here in YouTube and just copy that. And right in here, you can go into AI captions and drop the link in here. And then it's now going to start processing it again. So we just have to wait for it. And here we now have this window pop up. So now we could choose once again the templates that we have right here under My Templates. You could also go for the quick presets if this is what you want. So basically the same thing earlier in the long to short, and the aspect ratio in here, you could choose that and so on. So I'm just going to choose this one. And then the translation right here, and then you can see the credit usage. And now you can click here on add captions in one click. So that would cost me 16 credits. So make sure that you're mindful of your credit spending. And now let's wait for it to finish, and we'll be able to see the results later on. And now it's done. Let's click on it. And then from here, we'd now be able to see more details here again. And now let's play and let's see if the caption is working.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Bryce Crawford Podcast. I'm Bryce, and today, by the title of the episode, you guys know we're going to be talking about how to overcome anxiety. This is something that's near and dear to my heart, and I want to share this before we get into this. This is the heart of every podcast episode we do, not just this one. So
yeah, that is basically the gist here of the captions. And take note, this video is a very long video. It's 16 minutes, and Opus Clip did it in just minutes in editing and putting it all right here. And what's cool is that we can go back in here into edit clip, and now we can just edit the captions here once again. So yeah, this is why it's very important that you master the video editor, because you'll be going back in here every time that you create something here in Opus Clip. So I can go here into captions, and I can change the style of the captions if needed, and also correct some spellings in here, the words and so on, and the highlights also. Like for example, here in this word heart, I can click on that, and I can click here and highlight, and I can highlight it in green color. As you can see, it's now highlighted. So that's it. And then we could go for other font style in here, or caption style. I think I'm gonna go for this one. I think this one is cool. I'm gonna click on that, and then it will now be converted. So let's wait for that. And actually, I'm gonna go and try this one so that the difference will be noticeable. And there it is. And let's see. And yeah, it is now applied to all of the captions. So this is where you can edit that, including the font settings in here. You can go here into font, change the settings if needed, and also the effects like the transition and so on. So that's how you'd be able to do this. You can click here on Save Changes once you're now satisfied with the edit, or click here on Export if you're now ready to download. So that's it. It's that simple. Next is we have the video editor, but we're already done with this. We have discussed this earlier. Next, we have the enhanced speech. So for this one, we can now enhance the voice clarity and remove filler with one click. So you can click here and then you can provide the link right here again for the video upload, or you could use a Google Drive. Or we could also click here on one of our videos that we have worked on, and we could actually use the enhanced speech feature and click on it. And from here, as you can see, we have these options right here that we have on our homepage, like the enhanced speech. And basically, when you click on it right here, you would need to get the paid plan in order for you to use the enhanced speech feature. But don't worry, this feature is very simple to understand. It basically just improves the voice clarity and remove background sound. This is very effective. However, it only goes with a paid plan. Same thing, even if you just go here into enhance speech right here, when you provide or drop the video in here, you wouldn't be able to turn on the speech enhancement right here, because you would need a paid plan, but you'd be able to use the remove pause or the filler words in here. And you can enhance speech in one click right here, so that you could remove this pauses, filler words, and so on, and it will now be processed in here. So it's that simple for the enhanced speech. It's a very simple, straightforward feature, but it is very effective and will make your audio so much better. All right, so next one that we have is AI reframe. So in here, you can click on that, and then we get to drop our YouTube link again, or a link to our video. It could also be in other platforms. You could upload or Google Drive, depending on which one you prefer, and paste the link just like that. And then we will now be able to proceed here into this pop-up, wherein we could select the aspect ratio of the video result. We can make it into suitable for YouTube Shorts or TikTok, which is this one, square. We have landscape and portrait, depending on which one you would want. So I'm just going to stick with this one, and applicable auto layout. So you can choose the layouts right here. So when you hover your cursor, you'd be able to see a preview on what they look like. So in this one, I would want the split one because I have two speakers here in the video. So split would really look great. And if there are some scenes wherein the framing is focused only on one person, then you could just go for fill right here. So make sure that you enable that, because you could enable multiple layouts in here so that you'd be able to assign or use a specific layout in here depending on the camera angle that is shown or framing that is shown in the video. So I'm going to go for just fill and fit right here. I'm going to remove them. And then the split right here is what I'm going to go and use or enable, because I would want both of them to be simultaneously shown in the video in this format or aspect ratio right there. So in this video, it doesn't really have a scene or a framing wherein only one person. So I think split would be perfect. But if there is, then you could also go for fill, okay? So that it would also adapt. And click on reframe video in one click, and take note of the credit usage. Make sure that you're aware of that and manage your credit spending well. All right, so now here is the result. Let's now view it. And from here, we're going to play the video.
It's the Daily Talk Show, episode 591.
What's happening, guys? What's going on?
And as you can see here, it is. This is the split layout, but it's not really the subject that's being shown in here. It's just in the middle of the video. So yeah, it really is not that good. But the good thing is that we would be able to edit this. We can just click here on edit clip, and then once again, we'll be back into the editor and just simply click on the frames right here. And I'm just going to click here and continue editing. Now in here, I'm going to skip forward into where they are talking. As you can see in here, no speaker is shown. So I can just double click here on this frame at the top. And now I can reposition this. Let's say I would want to capture this guy. So I want to make sure that that guy is framed. Click on apply. And as you can see, it's now right here. And also right here for this other guy at the bottom. Right there. So that's much better. The good thing here is that it's a podcast, so they don't really move that much. So they are probably going to be in the middle or in the right frame until the end of this video because they are just sitting, they're not moving in the video. As you can see right here. And yeah, now let's play it.
and it sort of syncs up.
So where did you write this? On your phone?
So I started writing it on the phone.
So yeah, that is basically it. And if there are some instances or part of the video wherein you would need to change the angle, or maybe the camera angle or framing has changed, then you could definitely do that by splitting the clip in here, and you can adjust your layout. So you can click here on split, and it would now split the clip that your playhead is currently in. Right here, for example, I will be changing the layout here in the middle, which is this clip right here. I can change that into let's say fill right here. As you can see, I can double click on it once again, and I could now change the framing. Let's say I want to show this guy, and now it's like that. Now if you would want to add some captions, you could just definitely go click here on captions, and then you can now get your captions in here, and it will now be prompted here. And you have the settings right here, you already know that, and then your transcript right here wherein you could edit the text and so on. And once you're ready, click on save changes and export, and that's it. Alright, next one is we have the AI B-roll. So you can click on that, and from here you would need to drop a YouTube link to your video, or a link simply leading to your video on other platforms. You can upload or Google Drive once again. This one, I'm just going to use the same video right here on YouTube and paste it right here. Now it's gonna pop up this window. Now you can choose if you'd want an AI generated B-roll video or a stock B-roll video, and don't worry, all of them are copyright free. So choose one and click on add B-roll in one click. So in my case, I already did that, and it's currently processing as of the moment, so let's just wait for it for the results. Here it is now done. So now let's open it. And from here, let's view our video and let's see what has changed.
It's the Daily Talk Show, episode 591.
What's happening, guys? What's going on? Happy Tuesday. We're back after a long weekend.
The tennis is on at the moment in Melbourne.
I mean,
As you can see, this is the AI B-roll that was happening. This is AI generated image, and it has applied some zoom in effects so it doesn't look static. Originally, this is not in the video, so this is one of the AI B-roll that has happened on the video that we have uploaded.
tennis is keeping people up at night. Julian Haig said to me,
So yeah, that was basically it. It would just add those kind of B-rolls into the parts here in this video if the AI thinks that it is necessary. So yeah, you could just go click here on edit clip, and then you should see everything in here. So let's just wait for it to load. Here it is. And it's currently loading. And here it is. As you can see there, you could already see the B-roll being applied here in your video. You can see that on your timeline. You could jump into it like right here, and then you'd now be able to see the B-roll. And same goes for in here, and so on. So if you would like to change this B-roll or remove it, then you could definitely do so here in the edit tab. So I can click here on this B-roll, and then I could now enter the prompt once again and regenerate it if I think this is not enough or this is not good. And you could also change it with the stock video footage by clicking here on B-roll. And now you can go into stock library and so on, or could go for the any other options and even upload your own footage if you would want. So yeah, this is the AI B-roll. It's a very simple feature here in Opus Club. Alright, last feature is that we have the AI hook. So we can click on that, and then we would once again drop a link. So I'm gonna use this one for this example. Go back, paste, and then it would now analyze the video, and we have this options. So we have the speaker voice. You could choose one right here. We have Adam, Alice, Arnold, and so on. The only thing that I don't like in here is that it doesn't have a preview of the voice so that we know what kind of voice we are getting in here. But it has a description, so that's what we can work with. I'm just going to go for this one with Adam. And then the script style, you can go for serious, casual, or whatever emotion or like vibe you would want to get in the video. So in my case, I'll just go for serious. I think that's fine. And then voiceover frequency, you could go for beginning hook, full video, or ending, or just in the CTA. So I'm just gonna go for the beginning hook only, so only in the first part of the video, and then original video audio volume. So it would be at 0%, while the voiceover or the AI hook is speaking. You could set it into a higher volume if you'd want to, but in my case, I'll just go for this amount. I think this one is already pretty good. Now, here in the keywords or topic, to craft your AI voiceover, you could type in here what kind of words or maybe a phrase, a sentence that you would like to be included in the AI hook. This is only optional if you have something in mind. If not, then you can just let AI do it. So I'm gonna put something in here. So let's see what's the title of this again. So if you're in your 20s or 30s, here's how to win. So let's say that win early right now, something like that. And then I can click here on AI voiceover in one click, and then it's now gonna start processing, and let's see what it got for us. Alright, so now here's the result. Let's open it and let's play. Let's see what AI hook has got for us in the first part.
Pursue relentless volume. Relentless intensity brings unprecedented victory. Maximize effort now, not later.
So yeah, that was basically it. If you remember, I included the win right now, specifically. So I think it has paraphrased that. And yeah, let's just go here into edit clip. Basically, if you want to edit your AI hook, you could definitely do it right here. And let's see. And now here it is. And basically, let's play it once again.
Pursue relentless volume. Relentless intensity brings unprecedented victory. Maximize.
As you can see, it says maximize effort. Now, I guess this is the AI's take on my win right now specification earlier in the settings. And if you're wondering if you could delete the AI hook right here, if ever you didn't like it, you could definitely do so by clicking here on the audio. Just below the original audio, there is a small audio there, which is the AI hook. You could select that, which is right here, and then you could just delete that, or you could expand this if you'd want. And we could just zoom in so that we could see right here. As you can see, it's right here. And then you could just change the text or the transcription right here. This is the AI hook. This is highlighted already. You could change that if you would want to, or you could remove it. Now, if you would want to generate another one, you could just delete this first and then go here into AI hook, and then you could type out your script right here to be mentioned or to be said on the first part or wherever you'd want to put it. And then, once again, the same settings. You have the speaker voice that you could choose from, and then tone stability right here. So basically, the more stable it is, the more robotic, and then the more variable, there will be some not a monotonous tone, if you get what I mean. And then the original video audio volume, you can set it right here. So yeah, this is basically it for the AI hook feature on Opus Clip. Alright, that's it. We are now done. We have now successfully explored every feature here in Opus Clip, and now you have an idea on how you can effectively use each one of them. Now, let's just go here into the left menu just so that I could show you what each of these are. So here in the asset library is where you'd be able to see all the assets or the media that you have used in generating or creating your video in here in Opus Clip. So if you would want to see them, this is where you can get it. And then you have the brand template in here. So this is where you could set up your template in every setting so that you don't have to start from scratch manually again, optimizing your settings and so on. So this is where you'd be able to set them. As you can see, you can set your clip layout settings, caption, overlay, intro, outro, music, and many more. So you could just do that, and then you could name it right here. And then you could click here on Save Template once done, and then you should have your template. So we have already discussed that earlier, just giving you a review. And then we have the social accounts in here. This is also very important, as this is where you'd be able to connect your social media platforms into Opus Clip so that you can now sync it with Opus Clip, and then you could just post it from here, schedule it from here, and so on. So there would be a smooth integration if you connect your account here in Opus Clip. And now last thing to discuss is that we're going to go here into subscription. Now we're going to talk about a pricing plan. So we're going to click here on upgrade. All right, in here, you'd be able to see that you can go for monthly or yearly. Now, you want to go yearly if you'd want to save as much as possible, because here in yearly, you could get up to 50% off compared to monthly, where you would get everything in base price. So make sure that you go here into yearly. As you can see, there is a massive decrease in price. As of right now, there's a 50% off happening. So as you can see, it is cut in half, so you could get which one you'd want. So for the starter plan, this is perfect if you're a solo creator or just testing the waters with short form content. The 150 credits are enough to clip a handful of videos each month, and the watermark removal plus animated captions already give your clips a professional polish. But if you are posting daily or running multiple accounts, you'll burn through those credits fast. I'd say starter is best for hobbyists, students, or anyone learning the ropes before committing. Now we got Pro. So this is even lower price compared to the starter. So I suggest getting this one as of today. You can check out the price and see if it's still on 50% off. So yeah, make sure to check it out right now using the link in the description. And as for this one, this feels like the sweet spot for most serious creators. The jump to 3,600 credits per year means you can clip consistently without worrying about it running out. You get features like B-roll, multiple aspect ratios, and export to Premiere or Resolve, which make it more versatile for professional workflows. If you're a small team, agency, or a creator monetizing content, Pro is the plan that actually unlocks scale. Personally, I'd recommend Pro to anyone who's already posting regularly and wants their clips to look polished across multiple platforms. And lastly, we have the business. So this plan is clearly aimed at enterprises. The dedicated storage, API integrations, and Slack support aren't things a solo creator would ever need. But if you're a media company, marketing department, or large agency managing dozens of clients, this is the plan for you. It's less about the features and more about infrastructure, ensuring your team has reliability, security, and priority processing. Unless you're running content at scale for multiple brands, this plan is overkill. So you can click here and contact us if interested. All right, now you know which plan that you should get. Once you have that, you should have your credits and the features included in that plan. Now you can work in Opus Clip, do what you want, and that is basically it for this video. I hope this video has been helpful to you in guiding you in Opus Clip on how you'd be able to maximize it. Thank you for watching, and make sure to check the link in the description and some other coupon codes so that you can get the best current deals. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.